I'd like to tell you about a show of epic proportions.
I prefer me some magic when I'm trying to get in and out of houses, undetected. I prefer me some magic.
A show where the boundaries are pushed.
I like spam. Is there something wrong with that?
No, nothing at all. If you prefer meat with jelly on top of it, go right ahead.
I'd like to tell you about that show, but that is not this show. This show is the Fortean Slip, with host Chris York.
I have a tendency to go to dark places with my humor. It is what it is. It's not going to change anytime soon.
Co-host Steve Alcorn.
It was so earth-shaking and mind-blowing that even John Teeter in the future knows about it.
And reoccurring, ever-present special guest, Matt Knapp.
Yeah, somebody should have put out like a giant bug zapper and just ended that whole Mothman debacle.
A show that lacks taste, a filter, and listeners.
Are you listening? Are you like hearing the fucking fart?
Yeah!
Right, not just smelling it, you're hearing
Not just smelling. Audible as well.
That would be something else.
Oh,
But
you
well,
have
I do.
farts that you can't tell if it was you or not?
Well, yeah, because
What you are about to hear may be offensive, but we don't really give a fuck.
Good evening, and welcome to the Fortean Slip. I am your recently unemployed host, and this is episode 27. I'll see your ape man and raise you a super soldier.
nice.
Gentlemen, how are we this evening?
Super duper.
Damn dirty apes.
They did it. They finally did it. Isn't that the line? I don't remember. That is a movie I did actually watch. Planet of the Apes. The original.
I don't know, I have Alzheimer's. And I'm dead. Yeah, good old Planet of the Apes. Although the remake, what was it, the Rise of the Planet of the Apes there? That just came out a few years ago?
Yeah.
That was good.
Yeah.
Haven't seen it.
We won't acknowledge the one that came out before that one.
The Marky Mark and the Funky Bunch put on their rendition
Death of the Dirty Apes. Fall of Planet of the Apes franchise.
I'll quote a line from Kevin Smith here and say Tim Burton's version where all the apes have scissors for hands.
The costumes were pretty cool, though.
Yeah, the way that he did the apes in that version was, I'd have to say, well done.
Yes.
The costume design, if you will. But the rest of it was like a really bad itch on my ball bag that I have to like...
And you're wearing mittens.
Yeah, and
you're like handcuffed to something above your head.
And it's cold out, so you're wearing thermals.
Wool thermals. For the
Oh,
first time. Never been watched.
nasty.
But yeah, that movie, God, oh, what an awful piece of shit that was. I think we talked about that in the Gene St. Jean interview too.
I think we did.
I think Matt's just been waiting 27 episodes to make a Marky Mark and a Funky Bunch reference.
Feel the vibration.
I actually made the Marky Mark and the Funky Bunch
Oh,
reference.
whatever. Maybe it was Chris. I'm like out of it tonight. You made me wake up to do this, and
I didn't make you wake up.
Sorry for putting you out.
yeah, well, you know how it goes.
Last night it was me, so...
Yeah, I pulled a Chris today.
Come on, feel it, feel it.
Feel it, feel it. Feel the vibration. Come on, come on.
I think he's progressed in his acting career.
In some of the stuff that he's done, absolutely. In The Departed, he was fucking great.
Yeah.
With his
And,
horrible
that
hairpiece.
One movie. I have no idea what it's called, but he was in it with The Rock, and it was a retelling of a true event.
I never saw that.
It was pretty decent. It was entertaining.
I did like him in The Fighter, but I thought that Christian Bale was by far the stronger actor in that movie.
Yeah, I mean, he was kind of screwed on that deal,
Yeah.
in my opinion.
So anyway, but on to the show at hand. Super soldiers. Ape
Like
men.
the chocolate soda beverage drink,
Yes.
those kind of soldiers.
Yes.
That reference went right over my head. I have no clue what you're talking about.
Aren't they called like chocolate soldiers or something? Like the
I don't
Yoo-hoo
know.
ripoff?
I was just agreeing with you and letting you
Oh,
dig the
come
hole
on.
deeper and deeper.
Okay, I know Mr. Spam over there will know what Yoo-hoo is.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay,
I don't
there
like
was
it, but I know
There was
it is.
another company that put one out called like Chocolate Soldiers or something.
Sounds, a little.
Okay, you know what? Just forget it.
Yes. Yes, let's
Just
forget
move
all
on.
about the chocolate soldiers. Let's move on to Stalin's
I've heard
ape men.
Buffalo soldier.
Obviously, whenever we start talking about like sweet and tasty treats, people don't want to listen to it. So let's move on.
Yeah, let's not revisit last week's episode,
Yeah, for all you people that didn't listen to last week's episode, fuck you.
which was
You
everyone.
know what? Those that did listen though gave Orange Creamsicles a pretty good review, other than what you guys gave it. So I was happy with the outcome of those who did listen, the 3 or 4.
So thank you, Sunset Villa Retirement Home, for tuning in as usual.
Do they force the patients there to watch it?
That's all they can eat is creamsicles. Take your pills and you get a creamsicle.
Well, that's the retirement home I want to go to then. Just saying.
Wow.
You better get us steered in the right direction there, Captain.
I just want to say that my day started out really fucked up, and it hasn't gotten any better.
Well, I know I'm going to end up in a retirement home someday, so I might as well pick the one with the creamsicles,
Pick the one where they're doing the ape men research. And they make you have sex with a chimpanzee.
A female chimpanzee, I hope.
Isn't
So we're
that...
talking super soldiers, right?
Yeah. That's what we were going to talk about.
Somebody had to mention last week's episode. And creamsicles.
Listen, I could have taken a dump in my fucking toilet, filmed it with my iPhone, put it on the fucking channel, and it would have gotten more hits than fucking
It would
last
have gone
week's
viral,
episode.
probably.
Yeah.
It probably would have. Super soldiers.
Yeah, super soldiers. God damn.
Are they real?
Well, I mean, I think there have been many incarnations of governments and or people who have tried to create the quote-unquote super soldier. We know, like I was talking about before I got completely fucking derailed by you two, the Stalin Apeman program, which everybody I think is pretty well aware of at this point. If not, you've been living under a rock. But I think there have been many like I said, incarnations of programs like that. We discussed one before, the MK Ultra program, which was, trying to use psychological or even psychic warfare, trying to change people, create sleeper agents that could be activated at any time. So I think this stuff has been, going on throughout the ages, and more than likely still goes on today.
Well, that was kind of Hitler's whole deal, wasn't it? Was creating the perfect soldier. And
well, Hitler wanted to create the perfect race.
Right, but I think he did some work in the super soldier arena as well with the occult and using methamphetamines and things of that nature to create a soldier that wouldn't stop fighting.
I think any country that has an army would want to do research in that arena, to be honest, So we know Stalin did with the Apeman, and of course Hitler, I'm sure, did. And our own government here in the United States has done it.
Would never do such a thing.
Never. No.
No, we are the epitome of wonderfulness, sunshine and lollipops. Nothing horrible ever happens in the United States of America.
Well, in fact, they make those like exoskeleton suits, where basically there's a guy inside and he's this soldier and he's super.
Like RoboCop.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, kind of. That idea, yeah.
I was going to ask you guys, where you think that this is going to go. I mean, we've seen like some of the failed projects in the past, and we've seen what's, come to light as far as research, in the past and present. So do you think that in the quote-unquote super soldier arena, you're going to see more of the, let's try to create a physically stronger human being? Do you think they're going to try to make some type of hybrids, or do you think it's going to go in the bionic / exoskeleton arena?
Well, the research now is mainly, from what I know of anyway, is the exoskeleton type. More technological than psychological anyhow. So that's probably where it's going, but I don't know. I think they'd love to have a guy who was, did have to sleep for a week and didn't give a fuck what he ate and, could go on forever. But obviously all those other attempts like monkey sex and LSD didn't do it. So I think
the LSD stuff was more of a psychological, mind-altering type of thing than it was for the physical. I'm talking more the physical aspect of it, because when you're trying to create the super soldier, you're talking more of like, let's face it, the Captain America, the fucking buff motherfucker who, he's completely pumped. That's like what that's it. Maybe before he took the fucking serum. But
I don't know. It's kind of a toss-up, really, because you have, different technological advances that have taken place over the past 10 years, where you have things like drones and robots and stuff like that, where they're talking about trying to replace the soldier to save lives. But if you look at how America really operates, is it more cost effective for them to replace each soldier with a robot?
Nope.
Not really. And so I would say the exosuit would probably be the most likely candidate for something to actually take place, just because of money-wise.
I think the ultimate goal would probably be more along the lines of a RoboCop type thing, where it's part human and part whatever. Because then it can think, you can think for yourself, but you're also
some sort of armored suit interlaced with a computer that delivers real-time information.
Yeah, with a heads-up display.
Right.
It's coming. I think this type of technology, it's coming.
Right. I mean, they've already got the whole these computers that are built into their uniform, basically. That's like on their forearm or a little laptop type thing mounted onto their chest where they can actually, order airstrikes and give real-time information, download information, and everything like that right there in the field. So it'd just be a matter of incorporating that into some sort of armored suit that would be resistant, to gunfire and grenades and IEDs or whatever.
What about the, Steve Austin or, still has the appearance of a human, but
I don't think you're gonna.
bionic.
I don't think you're gonna see anything like that in the near future.
Well, not the near future, obviously. But
the bionics of that kind. I mean, for one, the feats of strength that he did could not be done. It would have ripped the bionic arm off of his body, like trying to do those things.
Right.
It's not feasible. That's why I tend to think, like Matt was saying, the exoskeleton or the suit, quote unquote suit, is going to be the way that they go with it.
Now, unless at some point in time it gets revisited, because it did get to a scary point at one time where for some reason it becomes globally accepted to clone humans. Now, if they start growing their own humans, all bets are off. I mean, the military would own the clone, so they could do whatever they wanted to it.
absolutely, and they would too. They would.
Oh yeah, I mean, look at the. I don't know if either one of you have seen the documentary Blackfish.
Yeah.
No.
I mean, these animals are obviously intelligent creatures. And, companies like SeaWorld own them, and they don't give a fuck. They do with them as they please.
Right.
And it would be the same way. It would be worse if it was...
If you could clone 1 million soldiers, so what if one of them got killed?
Right.
So they just keep going and going, and, I'm sure they'd have. I don't know how long it takes. Obviously, they're not full-grown adult humans
But
when
then
they first start. And
that raises another question: are they going to dump the money and the technology into just each one of these clones to turn them into a super soldier, or are they just going to go with pure numbers, where you don't really have to invest any money? You can just replace them with another body, so it doesn't really matter.
well, once cloning technology became easy to do,
Or are they just using the
It would be
cloning
numbers.
technology for their experiments in the beginning to create that super soldier?
Could be.
But
well, you're obviously going to clone, your biggest, best, baddest people. You
But I
want those
definitely
attributes.
think the idea of a Steve Austin like person is possible in the future with nanotechnology.
Okay, here's what I want to know though. Will they all have that cool sound like when they jump and stuff?
Sit
No.
in it. Sit in it.
Wait for it.
I can't do the sound. So.
God, you suck.
No, they won't.
Where did that
No.
sound come from?
At the minute you get past the age of 7, that sound being cool goes right out the door.
Yeah.
Well, I, for one, still think it's pretty damn cool. So
The Knight Rider theme song is the only thing that stands the test of time.
And by the way, the best Bionic Man or Steve Austin episode is not even an actual episode. It's an episode of the Venture Brothers in which Brock Sampson finds Steve Austin in love with Bigfoot out in the woods.
I haven't seen it.
Of course you haven't. I want you to make a concerted effort to go to the movies this summer.
I already plan on doing that. So
You take your son, go see Captain America, since we're talking about super soldiers. Go see fucking Captain America. Go see X-Men. That way you'll be on the same page with me and Matt this summer.
oh, that wouldn't be as fun though.
What? What is wrong with you?
I have no idea. Doctors have been trying to figure that out for 42 years. So
Go see
Nobody knows.
Spider-Man.
I have seen some of the Spider-Man movies, not the newer ones, but the what was it?
The Electric Company versions.
I saw the
I
ones
love the
back in the
Electric Company.
With
80s.
Morgan Freeman as the cop.
I love the Electric Company. That was a great show. I don't like the new version. Have you seen the new version of the
There was
Electric
actually an
Company?
episode where he was fighting a Yeti that went around sitting on people's ice cream cones.
I'm going to find that.
It's available.
I'm sure it is.
Everything's available now. It's the inner tubes.
All right, I promise I will make a concerted effort to watch some sort of movie at a real theater.
You at least
this
get to see Captain America, because it's Captain fucking America.
Yeah, well, Steve
I wanna see
Alcorn
that.
is kind of like our Steve Rogers, if you think about it.
That's right. Like I said, he's
Who's
like the
Steve
guy
Rogers?
before.
Yes.
Who's Steve Rogers?
Oh, jeez.
Fucking Christ.
Oh wait, no, he was on PBS, right? He was the guy that changed the sweater.
So in other words, we agree
Oh god.
that if super soldiers become a real thing in the future, then they're going to be Iron Man and not Captain America.
I think that where it's going right now, you're going to see an Iron Man style of a super soldier before you are going to see a Captain America.
And you're going to see an Incredible Hulk before you see Captain America.
Probably. Because
Or
they'll
they like screw it
because
all
they'll
up.
fuck it up first.
Will they be green?
I hope so.
That would be cool.
That's what I that's what you want to see.
I do know who the Incredible Hulk is, by the way.
Bill
Who is he?
Bixby?
Yes, I remember the Bill Bixby one. I religiously watched that when I was a kid.
Oh, yeah? What was his alter ego's name on that show?
I have no clue. It's been 30 years.
Jeez.
It was David Banner.
Yeah, David Banner, right?
Which is not
The name in the
Incredible
comic
Hulk's alter
book.
ego name.
Because they thought Bruce was too much of a pussy name. I thought that was fucking hilarious when I heard that.
So did I.
Because it's like he's supposed to be. You
I know some Bruces that
fucking
would.
morons.
I know some Bruces that would fuck you up.
Bruce
So-
Valanche.
Yeah, Bruce is not a pussy. That's for sure.
Bruce Valanche.
That is for my supervisor in case he happens to be listening. His name happens to be Bruce.
Oh god. You got me with that one. Fuck. Yeah, but I think it's gonna go in the direction of a suit, because you're gonna see bionics, like, and by bionics I mean things that aren't going to enhance the overall strength of the body, but just as, for amputees and...
Well, they have those, like,
Well, they have that sort of
arm
stuff
things over in Japan. I'm flying by the seat of my pants now.
Oh boy.
Those arm
They've got these things that you, like, the workers can, like, put on and, like, lift, like, huge amounts of weight. And, like, they use them in some hospitals and stuff for nurses to be able to lift, patients by themselves out of bed and things like that. And it's kind of an exoskeleton type apparatus.
Right.
So they started applying the technology.
And that's a great place to use the technology.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely a great place. I know many a person who's worked in the medical field who's complained about, the amount of weight that they have to move around in like basically dead body weight.
Yeah.
So, but I do. I think that's the direction that it's going to go, and I I think until nanotechnology gets to a point where they can, make that interface work the way it's supposed to. And even then, you're not going to see the bionics go to the extremes that, people are thinking, in their fantasies.
I have fantasies about bionics.
Yeah, we know. You and your fucking fantasies.
You mean we're not going to jump over, like, buildings and make noises as we jump through the air?
No noises.
I still want to know where the noise came from. Was it, oh, never mind.
Steve?
Yes? That must mean it's time for the news. And we actually have a news story that's related to the topic at hand. From CNN.com. If Batman and Iron Man got together in the lab to patch together a new outfit, it might look like this. Meet the Lorica, a new suit of high-tech armor named after the armor worn by Roman legions. It's made from a blend of lightweight, flexible materials and comes with Wi-Fi and Bluetooth connectivity, a point-of-view camera, a microphone, and 52 pressure sensors that send data to an external computer program.
And the data package on that bitch is huge.
It's built by an Australian company that had real-world warriors, not superheroes, in mind. The idea is to let martial artists compete at full speed with weapons in much the way bare-fisted fighters currently do in mixed martial arts competitions, such as the Ultimate Fighting Championship. We have been overwhelmed, said David Seiden, CEO of Unified Weapons Master, referring to the response from martial artists who have seen the suits. We literally have heard from hundreds and hundreds of people who have been practicing for 20 or 30 years in weapons-based arts who have had no true way to test their skills without seriously injuring someone or worse. The suit was developed over the course of 4 years by a team of martial artists and engineers with digital tech background. One of the developers is an armorer who helped build more than 2,500 suits of armor for the Lord of the Rings movies. Aside from its obvious role as protection, the suit's key feature is a set of 52 impact sensors spaced throughout. When struck, those sensors transmit data via Bluetooth or Wi-Fi, telling a computer where and how hard the blow landed. We know the damage that would have occurred to an unprotected competitor if they weren't wearing the suit, and we can display that in real time, Seiden said. The system would allow fighters in a competition to score points with each successful blow against their opponents while eliminating the guesswork sometimes involved with human judges.
They have that same competition down on the point.
Okay. If this all sounds like something you'd love to watch, Seiden and his team hope you're not alone. He said they're currently in talks with several production companies about broadcasting a tournament of weapons masters using the suits. He said the event most likely will occur later in the year of 2015.
Let's spend millions of dollars to develop a suit to prove that we can beat the shit out of somebody with a stick.
Hey, can all I want to know is, can we have Rocky and Drago punch the suit and watch the pounds per square inch rise with really cool music?
Crush you.
Drago!
I always went for the Russian in that movie.
And from the UPI.com, this is from New York. New York police arrested a fortune teller accused of scamming a woman out of more than $200,000 with claims of a curse that needed to be lifted. Investigators said that Amanda Yuffie, 26, a fortune teller operating out of a Manhattan storefront, convinced Jawai Lee, 22, that she was suffering from a curse in January of 2012, and Lee paid Yuffie $217,040 in the ensuing 10 months to lift the curse. The New York Post reported Thursday. Police said their investigation, which began when Lee filed a complaint against Yuffie in January, discovered a second individual had been bilked out of $1,400 when Yuffie claimed to have the power to remove negative energy from the second individual's body.
I'm not like that, Kevin.
The criminal complaint states, Yuffie, a.k.a. Amandra Petro, was arrested Tuesday and charged with grand larceny and scheme to defraud. She was held in lieu of $25,000 bail.
How do you even get to the point of like throwing that number out there when you're scamming somebody? I will lift the curse for $200,000.
Yeah, always putting it like as a question helps.
Yeah.
And from theexaminer.com, a Florida witness has clues UFO may have landed outside his bedroom window. A Coral Springs, Florida witness assumed the hovering sound he heard outside his bedroom window was a helicopter or low-flying plane until noticing a circle of burnt-out grass and indentations on his lawn, according to a February 11, 2014 testimony in case 5424 from the Mutual UFO Network Witness Reporting Database. The witness explained the odd circumstances from January 30th, 2014. He said, I was sleeping at the time, heard an object hover for a while, maybe 5 minutes.
And then I had to make a mountain out of my mashed potatoes.
A bit later, I heard what I think was a helicopter or low-flying plane. I never got up. I was too tired. I wish I had. Nearly 2 weeks later, the witness was outside talking to a landscaper.
And woke up naked in a phone booth.
I mentioned this route I was standing on and not remember it being there. He brought to my attention that it wasn't a route, and in fact it was part of a circle that had formed. When I stepped back, I was floored. There was a circle with burnt-out grass in the center. This is when
Okay. Let's recap. The man was standing in his yard talking to someone and suddenly thought, that's funny. I'm standing on a route that I don't remember being here before. And said this out loud, and the guy was like, that's no route.
It was a circle with burnt-out grass in the center. He says, this is when I put two and two together because it's right out of my bedroom window.
And I realized I had just thrown a joint out the night before.
To be clear, he never saw the object, but he did hear it. The witness submitted 5 images with the report, and photos were taken a couple weeks later. One depicts the edge and depth of indentation. The picture with the holes in the ground appears to be some type of stabilization probe. The picture with the holes in the ground appear to be some type of stabilization probe. The other picture shows the circle. Coral Springs is a city in Broward County, Florida, population 121,096. Florida has a UFO alert rating of 3, with a high number of recent reports. Florida was the 3rd highest reporting state with 49 reports in January.
What color is that with Homeland Security, Steve?
Fuchsia. While California had 102 reports, the highest reporting state in the nation. And that is
burnt umber.
Burnt umber may be a good choice. That is the news, fellas.
I'd like to tell y'all I'm having a good day. But I'm not.
Okay, then. Oh, I was going to say, then do it. Well, your day's almost over, Chris.
It is. Then it will be a new day.
The sun will come out tomorrow.
The sun will come out. Don't even get Matt started.
Don't do it.
This has been episode 27 of the Fortean Slip. If you like it, click the like button. Say something. Tell us you love us. Tickle our ball bags.